The following article contains a list of 100 most popular and best books of all time written by noted writers from around the world. I would rather be a poor man in a garret with plenty of books than a king who did not love reading. J. B. Macaulay. The best companion you can ever ask for is a book. They provide you with knowledge and entertainment at the same time. You can spend hours devouring book upon book, and never be able to satisfy your hunger for more. There may be millions written and published by various authors around the world, and among them are the best of the best. Some become an instant bestseller, and some find very few takers. However, each opens up a different world and each page takes you on an interesting journey. Some of them not only enrich you with the wealth of knowledge, but also entertain you in the most unusual way. It's like a teacher, forever by your side, guiding you when you need enlightenment the most. There are many greatest books of all time that are a must-read. But of these many, we have compiled a list of best ones ever written. This list may seem biased to you. The ones mentioned in this list are based on our personal preferences. Just go through it with a pinch of salt. You may find your favorites listed or missed in the following list. Books that you should read. Some of the classic books everyone should read from authors, like Jane Austen to Mary Shelley, Charles Dickens to William Makepeace Thackeray have been covered in the following list. Go through the list in alphabetical order and find your favorite ones making an entry in the list. Maybe you find a few that you have still not relished and need to go through them soon. 1984 – George Orwell Atonement, Ian McEwan A Bend in the River, V.S. Nepal A Clockwork Orange, Anthony Burgess A Handful of Dust, Evelyn Waugh House for Mr. Bice Was, V's. Nepal A Passage to India, E.M. Forster A Tale of Two Cities, Charles Dickens Absalom, Absalom. William Faulkner Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, Mark Twain All Quiet on the Western Front, Eric Maria Remarque Animal Farm, George Orwell Anna Karenina, Leo Tolstoy Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl, Anne Frank Bad Left Wild Earth, L. Ron Hubbard Beloved, Toni Morrison Birdsong, Sebastian Foxbone, Jeff Smith Bridget Jones's Diary, Helen Fielding Catch-22 – Joseph Heller Charlotte's Web, E.B. White Cold Mountain, Charles Fraser Dangerous Liaisons, Pierre Choderlos de la Clos David Copperfield, Charles Dickens Dead Souls, Nicolai Gogol Don Quixote, Miguel de Cervantes Saavedra Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Robert Louis Stevenson Dracula, Bram Stoker East of Eden, John Steinbeck Emma, Jane Austen Fahrenheit 451 – Ray Bradbury Falconer, John Cheever Fight Club, Chuck Palahniuk Frankenstein, Mary Shelley Go Tell It on the Mountain, James Baldwin As Gone with the Wind, Margaret Mitchell Hamlet, William Shakespeare Haroun and the Sea of Stories, Salman Rushdie Housekeeping, Marilyn Robinson I, Claudius, Robert Graves Invisible Man, Ralph Ellison La Confidential, James Ellroy Les Miserables, Victor Hugo Lolita, Vladimir Nabokov Lord of the Flies, William Golding Love in the Time of Cholera, Gabriel Garcia Marquez Lucky Jim, Kingsley Amis Madame Bovary, Gustave Flaubert Memoirs of a Geisha, Arthur Golden Men Without Women, Ernest Hemingway Midnight's Children, Salman Rushdie Moby Dick, Herman Melville Money, Martin Amis Oblomov, Ivan Goncharov of Mice and Men, John Steinbeck One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Ken Kesey 100 Years of Solitude, Gabriel Garcia Marquez Pilgrim's Progress, John Bunyan Pride and Prejudice, Jane Austen, Robinson Crusoe, Daniel Defoe Romeo and Juliet, William Shakespeare Sense and Sensibility, Jane Austen Siddhartha, Herman Hesse Slaughterhouse-Five, Kurt Vonnegut Song of Solomon Toni Morrison The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho The Brothers Karamazov, Fyodor Dostoevsky The Catcher in the Rye, J.D. Salinger The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, Mark Haddon The Da Vinci Code, Dan Brown The Fountainhead, Ayn Rand The French Lieutenant's Woman, John Fowles The Grapes of Wrath, John Steinbeck The Great Gatsby, F. Scott Fitzgerald The Heart is a Lonely Hunter, Carson McCullers The Heart of the Matter, Graham Greene The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Douglas Adams The Hobbit, J.R.R. Tolkien The Idiot, Fyodor Dostoevsky The Iliad, Homer the Kite Runner, Kale Hosseini The Odyssey, Homer the Old Man and the Sea, Ernest Hemingway The Picture of Dorian Gray, Oscar Wilde The Pillars of the Earth, Ken Follett The Poisonwood Bible, Barbara Kingsolver The Riddle of the Sands, Erskine Childers The Three Musketeers, Alexander Dumas The Time Traveler's Wife, Audrey Niffenegger The Trial, Franz Kafka The Twilight Saga, Stephenie Meyer The Wind in the Willows, Kenneth Grahame To Kill a Mockingbird, Harper Lee To the Lighthouse, Virginia Woolf Tropic of Cancer, Henry Miller USA, John Dos Passos Vanity Fair, William Makepeace Thackeray War and Peace, Leo Tolstoy White Noise, Don DeLillo Wuthering Heights, Emily Bronte. Books that children should read. We have all enjoyed some of the following books for children at some point or the other in our lives. These classic books for kids are enjoyed not only by kids, but their parents as well. Alvin Ho, Allergic to Camping, Hiking, and Other Natural Disasters, Lenore Look a Light in the Attic, Shel Silverstein A Wrinkle in Time, Madeleine L'Engle Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day, Judith Viorst Amazing Grace, Mary Hoffman Amelia Bedelia, Peggy Parish Anne of Green Gables, Lucy Maud Montgomery Are You My Mother? Philip D. Eastman Arthur Series, Mark Tolan Brown Basil of Baker Street, Eve Titus Bridge to Terabithia, Catherine Patterson Brown Bear, What Do You See? Bill Martin, Junior Caps for Sale, As Fursla Budkina Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Roald Dahl Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, John Archambault Clifford, The Big Red Dog, Norman Bridwell Corduroy, Don Freeman Curious George, Hans Augusto Ray Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Jeff Kinney Goodnight Moon, Margaret Wise Brown Green Eggs and Ham, Dr. Seuss Guess How Much I Love You, Sam McBratney Harriet the Spy, Louise Fitzhugh Hatchet, Gary Paulson Heidi, Johanna Spyri Horton Hatches the Egg, Dr. Seuss How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Dr. Seuss If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, Laura Joff Numeroff Island of the Blue Dolphins, Scott Odell James and the Giant Peach, A Children's Story, Roald Dahl Jumanji, Chris Van Allsburg Harry Potter Series, J. K. Rowling Lion Boy, Zizu Cord Little House Books, Laura Ingalls Wilder, WebQuest Little House in the Big Woods, Laura Ingalls Wilder Little House on the Prairie, Laura Ingalls Wilder Little Women, Louisa May Alcott Love You Forever, Robert N. Munch Maniac McGee, Jerry Spinelli Math Curse, John Sishka Matilda, Roald Dahl Mr. Popper's Penguins, Richard Atwater Mrs. Friss and the Rats of Num, Robert C. O'Brien My Family and Other Animals, Gerald Darrell My Father's Dragon, Ruth Stiles Gannett Number the Stars, Lois Lowry O, The Places You'll Go, Dr. Seuss Ramona Quim, A.J. Cleary Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, Mildred D. Taylor Sarah, Plain and Tall, Patricia McLachlan Shiloh, Phyllis Reynolds Naylor Sideways Stories from Wayside School, Louis Satcher Spy Dog, Andrew Copes Telalina, Janelle Cannon Stone Fox, John Reynolds Gardner Stregonona, Tomie D. Paula Stewart Little, E.B. White Sylvester and the Magic Pebble, William Steig Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing, Judy Blume The Art Lesson, Tomie D. Paola The Best Christmas Pageant Ever, Barbara Robinson The BFG, Roald Dahl The Boxcar Children, Gertrude Chandler Warner The Cat in the Hat, Dr. Seuss The Chronicles of Narnia, C.S. Lewis The Complete Tales of Winnie the Pooh, A.A. Milne The Family from One End Street, Eve Garnett The Giver, Lois Lowry The Giving Tree, Shel Silverstein The Great Gilly Hopkins, Catherine Patterson The 100-Mile-an-Hour Dog, Jeremy Strong The Indian in the Cupboard, Lynn Reed Banks The Lion, The Witch, and the Wardrobe, C.S. Lewis The Little Engine That Could, Watty Piper The Little House, Virginia Lee Burton The Lorax, Dr. Seuss The Magician's Elephant, Kate DiCamillo The Mitten, Jan Brett The Napping House, Audrey Wood The Paper Bag Princess, Robert N. Munch The Polar Express, Chris Van Allsburg The Rainbow Fish, Marcus Pfister The Runaway Bunny, Margaret Wise The Secret Diary of Adrian Mole, Sue Townsend The Secret Garden, Frances Hodgson Burnett The Sheep Pig, Dick King-Smith The Snowy Day, Ezra Jack Keats The Tale of Peter Rabbit, Beatrix Potter The True Story of the Three Little Pigs, John Sishka The Trumpet of the Swan, E.B. White The Twits, Roald Dahl the Velveteen Rabbit, Marjorie Williams the Very Hungry Caterpillar, Eric Carle the Watsons Go to Birmingham 1963 – Christopher Paul Curtis The Witch of Blackbird Pond, Elizabeth George Spear The Wizard of Oz, L. Frank Baum Tuck Everlasting, Natalie Babbitt Walk to Moons, Sharon Creech Where the Sidewalk Ends, The Poems and Drawing of Shel Silverstein, Where the Wild Things Are, Maurice Sendak Wilfred Gordon MacDonald Partridge. Mem Fox books are a very thoughtful gift for someone you truly care about. They are treasure troves of knowledge, fun, entertainment, emotions, guidance, and many more things. They are our never-failing friends, and everyone will find one that suits one's needs. The ones mentioned above are some of the gems of the rich world of books. You may find some missing from the list. As we have already mentioned, this is our personal view. You may keep adding some more that you feel need to be mentioned as the best books of all time. My never-failing friends are they, with whom I converse day by day, with them I take delight in weal, and seek relief in woe.